There's a short video on YouTube, and he said, you know how to know if your awakening is real. It's if you have peace in situations that you didn't before. Not when your life is easy and you've arranged everything to have peace. Anybody can do that. But when you're in a hard situation or a disagreement or even feeling fear and you have peace underneath. And wow, that made sense to me, because that's actually what I experience. But I think that is the reason why I share, because I really had so much struggle internally in my mind, and my body I just never felt good. Like ever. And now I just feel really good. So it's not like I'm sharing some dogmatic truth or the word of God, like this is true, do this, or giving advice. I'm just sharing because I truly have peace now and feel great, even though my circumstances did not change at all. So what he said rings true. I really believe that is the case. Like if you have peace where you probably shouldn't, or where everyone else doesn't, something truly changed internally. And that's honestly what I hope for everyone, to happen to everyone. Because if it could happen to me, it could happen to anyone. I'm not special. I'm a totally normal guy who had a lot of issues. So to even be here talking about this right now is just shocking. Sometimes I think about it and I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude. Eventually, peace becomes prioritized over everything else. You start seeking for truth. You start making changes. You start really diving in to yourself. And for a while there, I would barter with myself. I would argue. I would try to tell myself, do I really need to get rid of this, or do I need to stop doing this habit, or like, is it really that person that's bothering me, or is it just me and my triggers and I need to work on myself? And it's both. Everything that we suffer comes from ourselves and our own thoughts. It's never someone else. But if you factor in an abusive relationship, yeah, you need to get out of that first. Your nervous system's never going to be regulated enough to even work on yourself or have a thought. You need the basic physical needs, the food, shelter, water, all that stuff, safety. And maybe some people have snapped into an awakening in those hard situations. But if you can make some healthy choices first and get out of danger, the process will be a lot easier. Who has time to look at themselves and their triggers and their thoughts when they don't know where their next meal is going to come from, or they don't know if the person they're with is going to come home angry and start swinging? There is both. Both of those things factor in. So I don't want to be insensitive towards everyone's situation, because I don't know who I'm talking to on here. I'm just talking to a camera. There are situations that do need to change, probably. So when I get on here and say every problem that's ever been caused is by you and your thoughts, I am talking about what I've seen and like a huge chunk of my reality. But I'm not invalidating certain situations. I just wanted to make that clear. Wow. But for me, I'll give an example that was pretty potent for a couple years. It took me years to get over because it was so hard. I have a parent that's I mean, I hate to put a label on it because words don't capture anything really to me anymore. But if we're talking about it like a normal person, this parent would be in the narcissist category. Now, growing up, I didn't know that. You don't know things like that growing up. You just think, I don't know what you think. I just always felt a little off and like something wasn't quite right. And I had moments or little snippets of memory where I thought, weird. That was a weird reaction. It was only until I became an adult and had my own kids and kind of watched myself interact with people in a normal way that it became obvious that this person's reactions and the way that they were in the world was not normal. Now, not blaming them for their way of being, it's just how they are. I did have to separate completely from it because it was damaging, and I have small children that I need to keep safe. But what happened next, after the separation, for the next 2 years, my mind ruined me. Just no lighter way to say it. All the anger and fear and sadness and anger and justifications and knowledge that I put in my brain of why they were wrong and I can't believe this. All of that stuff, from the moment I saw what I needed to do and then I made the choice that was the safest for my family. It was fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It was the next 2 years of inner torture that really took a toll on all my relationships, everybody I know. It was really bad. That was caused by my thoughts. It was mine to carry. It was mine alone. There was nobody to blame. I couldn't even blame the person or what happened. They acted the way that they were always going to act, and I made a choice, and that's the way that I acted, and that should have been the end of it. But the thoughts, the torture, the inner torture that I caused myself, that I was responsible for that. So when people say everything comes from you, everything's within you, a lot of that is true. Not 100%. Because there are, like I said earlier, there are certain situations where you don't have control and things happen, and that's how trauma is created. But the response to what happens and the trauma and your thoughts about it afterwards and all those feelings you're giving yourself and you're living in this anger or depression or whatever, all that is really entirely mental and can be stopped simply by seeing that you are creating it. I know we want justice sometimes and we want other people to hurt like they hurt us. It's never going to happen. I mean, we want it so bad that we've created religions where there's a eternal punishment afterwards because we need people to suffer because we feel it feels so unjust. We want justification so bad. That is ego that wants justification. Who you truly are is just witnessing everything happening. I know this is hard to hear sometimes, but I'm not just making this up. I'm speaking from experience. I wanted justice so bad that the person that hurt me, I wanted them to suffer. I wanted them to hurt. I had dreams of killing them, if I'm being honest. It was bad. My system was just freaking out. My body, my mind, my thoughts, my dreams, it affected every area of my life. I couldn't take a shower without thinking about it. The peace that overcame my system the day that stopped happening, and it was one day. I remember waking up and thinking, not anymore. It was amazing. And the shocking part about it is it was completely my choice. I just chose to stop. And then it became so obvious. All the problems I had with other people were inside of me, and I could choose to stop exactly like I did with this person. So over the next few years, took a while, it was harder than I thought. That's what I did. I chose to let things go. I chose to forgive until forgiveness didn't make sense, and I just realized it's just in me. I just need to stop. It's not even forgiving someone else. It's just letting it go out of my own mind. Because look, if you're watching a movie at the theater, you know what you're seeing on the screen isn't real, but it does give you real emotions. You're watching something fake, and you are feeling something real. And this is what we do with our thoughts about other people. If I look at someone and say, oh, they're such a jerk, I have projected that onto a person. They're not anything. The word jerk, my thoughts about what that means, that I'm projecting that onto someone. That's fake. What's real is what's projecting it. I am projecting it. So if I have any thoughts towards anyone that are anything but love, probably a projection. Now to fix that is to look at the projector. Like if the screen starts getting fuzzy and weird, nobody's going to walk up to the screen and try to fix the screen. They know it's coming from the projector, so you look at the projector and you adjust and you fix. So the projection becomes clear. I hope that made sense. It's hard to explain some of this stuff because it's so internal. And because it seems really counterintuitive to the illusion that we're so used to playing into. You are the projector. If you don't like what you're seeing on the screen of your life, there is nothing you can do about changing the screen externally, changing your life, changing the people. It's the projector. It's in you. It's what's coming out of you. That's what you don't like. So look inside of yourself. Make adjustments if you need to, or just shine some awareness on it and realize that it's fake. That person's not a jerk. You just felt a certain way that was uncomfortable, and instead of feeling your emotion, you made a projection. That's how we justify our emotions, without feeling them. The good news is all of this is reversible. If you reverse engineer all of your projections, you come to a place that a lot of people are now on YouTube talking about called awakening. And boy, it's nice. It's worth it. It's peaceful. So why would I not want more of that? Because there are some people who will argue, oh, this is true, that's not true, oh, this is what this says in the Bible. And it's like, okay, that doesn't really bother me if it's true or not. Honestly, I don't care. I went from anxiety, fear, anger to peace. I live in peace now. That's what I care about. That's what I'm sharing. I don't think people really want truth. I think they want to feel better. I think they want to live in peace. But when you get to the peace and you start feeling better and you start reverse engineering your projections, you do find truth. That's the beautiful part of it. And a lot of those truths are in every religious text because they're all very similar. So just look inside. I think that's all I want to share for this morning.